this is Judy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm working on the Stamp of the Month free card kit that I am offering to anyone that buys the Stamp of the Month from me. You can get it for $18.95 outright if you spend $50 on my website, which is stampinforever.closetomyheart.com, and I will put that on the video here. If you spend $50 on my website, you can get it for $5. If you're VIP, you can get it free with a $50 purchase. So any way you get it, I will get notified that you placed an order, and I will see that you ordered it, and I will send you this 4-card kit for free. Okay, so you don't have to do anything. I'll just send it to you as my thank you to you for ordering from me. So this is just one of the cutest sets that they've had in a long time. I love it. And you can see it's got the bunny rabbit with the little bear rabbit, the bear with the flower and a bee, and a little mouse. And they are just adorable. So I made these cards, and I used the Sweet as Honey papers from this collection. I love the colors. They're soft and warm and just perfect. So that's just one card, and then this card's got a couple of little bees, and it has this black paper with the honeycomb. And then this is a slimline card. Now mine has a fold in the front, but yours will not. It's just that way because they're my prototype cards. Isn't they cute? So these are cut out, so you'll get those in your kit. You won't have to cut them out yourself. And then the little bee is cut out as well. So cute. And then this one is a fold out like that. Okay, so you'll get everything to make these 4 cards, and I'll give you envelopes for the 2 slim lines because not everybody has that size of envelope. So I'll go through and show you how I made these. So what you'll get in your kit is the 2 envelopes. You'll get the card base with all the pieces in it for each card. Okay, so we'll go through and make these. We'll do the bear first. Oh, and the first one I show you doesn't have a bear in it, but that's okay. I'm ready with the bear. So you're going to have a piece of cut out blank paper to stamp on and then color. And I've already pre-colored. I do have the mouse to color to save time in the video, so you won't have to watch me color everything. So the first thing you're going to do is take this piece of paper. You should have a crease in your card as well, okay, for the front. And you can secure this down if you want to, so when they open it, it just opens. You don't have to. You can leave it like that. I have a little tape on it for when I photograph the card, but I like it because then it'll stand up if it's not secured down. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take this and stamp. And I used mocha ink, and this is a little flower cluster to stamp on. And let me get some scrap paper here. And the foam. Okay. So I used our new soft brown mocha ink. It's not one of the colors in this collection, but I think it works really well with these papers. And this is Sundance, and you can use the light side or the dark side. And you're just going to stamp along this piece, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just an accent to your card. And actually I'm going to stamp one here so I know where to place these last 2. No rhyme or reason to placement. You can measure it out if you feel the need to do that. That's up to you. Okay. You're also going to get 2 strips here for accent, and this is a half of a zip strip. I cut it in half. So it didn't take up a lot of real estate. It's just the accent that I wanted. So I didn't get out glue. I forgot that. Okay, now I usually would use liquid glue, but I don't have any out, so I'm going to use the tape runner. Tape runner's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I just like the liquid glue because it's more secure. Okay. And you're going to put that right on your card. And hopefully they are cut correctly. If not, you might need to trim a little off. Now for these little strips, because I don't want to put the tape on here because it's too wide. And this adhesive is pretty good, so it should hold it. Okay, and there's the front. Okay, so now we're going to do the top. Let's see, and it's going to go that way. Now our paper's double-sided, so make sure that you use the same side so it coordinates. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is use our shortbread ink to sponge our background. Whoops. And this doesn't have to be anything drastic, you know, just add a little bit of color. You're going to stamp, well, let's put our bear on first, so we know where to put the sentiment. Right. And make sure you don't put glue on the top part that's going to go on here, or you'll glue your card closed. I already put the sentiment on my stamp block. And make sure you test out your stamp before you stamp, so to make sure you get a good image, or you'll have to stamp it on another piece of paper and adhere it that way. You know, if you mess it up, you'll have to stamp it on a piece of paper and glue it over the top of your mistake. I've done that many times. Okay, so that's perfect. Now mine doesn't have the little bee that's on here, but your paper will have a piece that will have the bee on it, so you might have to put your sentiment over a little bit. And now you're going to take a white gel pen, and I'm going to do some stitching, and there's glue on my scraps. And if you go lightly with the pen, it writes better than if you press hard. So just go really light and let the ball roll with the ink. And if it doesn't work, you can put it on your hand and it will get that ink going. It warms it up. And it starts to write better after you go. So do that there, and then I would do it on the top one as well. Okay, so then you have your card finished. cute. Okay, next card. We'll do the slimline card with the mouse. Okay, so you have the option of using this side or this side. Of course, this is the side that I show in my sample. And this is how your cutout piece will come. And this should fit perfectly on the bottom of your card. And then these will be the same way as the other card. And then you'll do your dash lines when you're done. This part of the mouse will be sitting over this, so you don't have to use it over the whole thing. Make sure again you use the right side. Let's see. So I'm going to tape on this side. Okay. Now again, there was no rhyme or reason for these as well. I just placed them on there where it looked nice. Got a little piece to cut out there. So if you have any inconsistencies, just trim them off. I had a lot of them that I had to cut out. Alright. And then your little bee, you can pop up on foam dots if you want to, but I didn't. So for your little mouse, attach it. And I use the intense black ink for all of them, you know, because I use the tri-blend markers to color them in. So, and do it on, don't do it on something that's white because it's hard to see. So if you have something dark on the back of it, you'll be able to see the white outline a lot better. Now that's not the best stamping impression. I should have gotten my stamp tested first, or re-inked it a little bit more before I stamped it, but he's okay. If you're coloring it in, you won't see that inconsistency in the stamp line as much as you would as if you left him plain like that. So here's one that I already have stamped and dried. You know, let your ink sit just a little bit. It's not supposed to run, but it could. And I use the brown gray blend, and I'm just going to go over the whole mouse. And this is how I colored all the rabbits and the bear. I'm going to leave his belly white. And because he's so little, I can do all this in one pass. I go over the whole body with the light colored ink. And then I add my accents with the medium and the dark. I didn't even bother with his tail because it's so small. But, you know, that's up to you on how you want to color your images. just refilled this dark, so it's very juicy. So you'll see a lot of ink. Which really makes it easy to blend because it soaks right in. Okay, so he's done. I'm going to use the dull green for the leaves. And I'm going to use the flamingo shimmer brush for the flower. Now I didn't stamp the back or sponge the background on this, but I think I'm going to on my next card. And where did I put it? Here it is. I really like the look of the sponging behind your animal. And I'm also going to use a little shimmer brush on it too. And I'm using the Sundance for this. I'm just going to add some splatters. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, so now we'll put the mouse down, and you can pop this up on foam adhesive if you want. I think that would look really good. I'm going to put him right on the bottom here. And now see, on this card, I had a little more room to stamp the sentiment, which I'm not going to with him. So I can stamp it somewhere else. I need to clean this off. Carrier. It's not straight. There we go. Now again, test your stamp. As you can see, that's why you should test it every time. And I'm going to look and see if I can get this to fit. And I think it just might. Perfect. I like this one a little bit better, so make sure you might want to put your sentiment on there first. Then you'll know where to place your hexagons. Okay. And I like the background with the sponging. Next card. Okay. And you'll be able to tell which stamps goes with which background. The one rabbit's going one this way and the other rabbit's going, you know, you'll be able to tell it doesn't fit. Okay. So I have that rabbit already as well. Now on this card, I chose to use that side of the paper up here and the other side down here, so it's an option. You could do both of the bees. But I really like the hexagon paper. Or honeycomb pattern, or whatever you want to call it. And this one does need to be trimmed, so note that when you get yours, you might have to trim it. Now there's not a lot of bees showing on here, which is okay. It depends on where the cut was when I did it. But I think having the yellow border really helps to bring it alive. And then have the bee on it. And I think I'll go with the light side. And I did do stitching lines on all of the, it's not sticking down, so I'm going to add a little in the middle. Stitching lines on all the cards. It really adds a nice accent to it. Okay, and this one again would look good popped up too. So let's put the Oh Happy Day on here. There's some really nice sentiments with this stamp set as well. Maybe that's why I didn't get a good impression. I don't know if I had the cushion under my stamp when I did the mouse. I can't remember. But make sure you have your cushion underneath so you get a good crisp impression. Here's the bee. And this would be really good popped up too. And I used the brown gray marker on all of these images. I wanted to make it kind of easy so you didn't have to buy a lot of different things, but I really used that brown gray marker for a lot of coloring. And we'll do a little sponging here as well. And our Sundance ink. And sometimes if you want to get more ink into it, don't squeeze it over something you don't want to get wet, right? All right. So cute. Okay, card number 4. And I'll have close-ups of all these cards at the end of the video. Okay, now this one has a raised piece in the middle. So what I'm going to suggest is take all your pieces, that's exact, and make sure they are all the correct length, okay? Because once you put them down, if they're not correct, then it'll be awful hard to trim them. They look pretty good. And now I'm going to start at the top and go down. And I'd use my Versamat to line these up. If you don't have a Versamat, you can always use a ruler. But I like going with the in the middle, so I'm going to go over 2 at the top. And that's 1, so about 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that it is centered. And you just go down through, and you can use a T-square ruler to line these up if you want to. Now before I put this down, I'm going to ink the edges. It just adds a little extra definition to your piece. It makes it raise up off of your card. You could also use foam tape, right? Okay, now the ink's still a little wet, so I'm going to try to be careful I don't get it on my card base. See how much that is defined in comparison? Okay. So now it's this piece, and I use the dark side. Oh, we got a stamp on that too. and that's not lined up. That's where the liquid adhesive would be handy, but this is pretty good too. It comes up. So we're going to stamp this with the mocha, and you can get 3 images pretty well up across this. I think I'll go right in the middle. There we go. And hopefully they meet perfectly at the bottom. You might have a little to trim off with your trimmer. Okay, now we'll ink this as well. Whoops, that's black. We don't want that. Oh my goodness. Let's see how much that gets on the sponge. Oh. Learn from my mistakes. Invest in scrap paper. Okay. That should be good. This card actually looks like it's a little bit of gray, but it looks good. This piece of paper against the white. I don't know. I thought it was all white daisy, but I may have picked up a random piece when I was making them. So, okay, this one I did pop up on foam adhesive. I really like how it looks. And I already have this one done as well. And for the little rabbit, I just went around the outside. I left most of them white. And then this guy's mostly gray. So he'll go here. And I have the dashed lines along here. And let's do some splattering. And stamp, "You are my greatest joy." Well, this one is "You mean the world to me," so we'll use the one that's on here. Good, good, good. And he's gonna go on there like that. So cute, these images. All right. And I'm having him go off a little bit, so it adds even more interest. And of course you would put him on this side, not on this side, because he's looking that way and you don't want him to go off of the card. It's so cute. Okay, so I hope you like these 4-card kit, all different. They're not really very hard, but they are just adorable. Okay, so if you order these, again, I'll send it right out to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for close-ups.